everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of Let's Play 80 Days. Right, okay, so I think we're there. After the first episode's calamities, I think I've managed to sort some problems out. First of all, the whole resolution problem. I'm now playing the game in windowed mode and not full screen, and it seems to be working fine as per a test recording I've just done. So I think we should be okay in terms of the actual video resolution now and not have that horrible letterbox effect. Second of all, the reason why the world or the globe was spinning constantly in the last session was because somebody said on my comments of the first video, I wonder if your control pad is conflicting with the game. So I checked where my control pad was, and it was wedged at the back of my desk against the wall in such a manner that the thumbstick was constantly pushed up, which was what was causing the world to spin. So thank you for that. I've managed now to remove my control pad from its position, and the spinning globe problem is no more. So no more spinning globes, full screen resolution for the recording. All we need to hope is that when we try to embark in future, we don't have to keep minimizing. Right, so I'm optimistic that we can move on and travel around the world in 80 days successfully, now that I have sorted technical glitches out. Right then, so as we left off last time, we were in Paris, the homelands of Mr. Passport 2, and he had his beady little eye on a Yorkshire lass, an artificer, twiddling some light bulbs. Anyway, I think we're almost ready to leave. I don't think Monsieur Fogg was best impressed with our absence, but before we do, I thought we'd just pop into the bank. I don't know, take out a loan and never see them again, perhaps? We must visit the bank, Monsieur Fogg declared. You have more funds? I am a gentleman. They would extend me credit if required, he replied. But do you suppose I put my entire fortune into a carpet bag under your supervision? We won't answer that. Obviously, he's probably being sarcastic, if he knows how to be sarcastic. I regarded the bank as we entered. Such marvellous architecture. A place of stone and shimmering marble floors, with beautiful windows, fountains and plants. You wish to withdraw funds, we were told. I warn you, it may take some time. What day is it today? It's Thursday. 3 grand on Tuesday, 5 grand in a week, or a grand tomorrow. Well, we are supposed to be doing this in 80 days. I've got a feeling from what I'm gathering that there's probably going to be a little bit of backwards and forwards, not just literally going around and never returning. So I suppose it would help to plan ahead, really, wouldn't it? Like 5 grand in a week sounds ridiculously horrendous, but if we happen to be back in this neck of the woods for whatever reason, it would be a sound investment, wouldn't it? So I'm going to chance it, just on the off chance that we return. Would be nice to go around tomorrow and just whisk ourselves away short term, but let's try and see if we can play the long game here. 5 grand in a week. If we don't return, is it anything lost? The money will just be sat there waiting. We require £5,000, my master announced. The manager drew a sharp breath. I'll have to communicate with London first, of course, he apologised. I should have a reply in 5 working days. It seems, Monsieur Fogg remarked as we left. We have some time to dispose of. Return to the bank on Thursday to collect your funds. Perhaps we could go to, was it Munich or Berlin, where we can sell this thingamabobs that we got. Wine, that was it. We got some expensive wine. Okay, wait 7 days. We ain't going to be waiting 7 days. As I said, we may return, we may not. But for now, we're on our travels once again. Ooh, Amsterdam. Blow me down. Look at this, I can move the globe. Nice. Oh, the French Riviera. Munich or Vienna? 250, 170. Okay. What to go, where to go, all the excitement. Amsterdam! I've been to Amsterdam. Very nice place. Yes, I had a lot of fun there. If you watched my Walking Dead episode a few weeks ago now, you'll know that I had a wee cheeky puffs of something green. Nice place. I've also been to Nice. Very nice place as well. French Riviera, close to Monaco, one of my favourite places. Where do we go? Right, that's so torn. Bloody hell, my flipping training mat just fell behind me. Give me the shock of my life. Thought I had bloody scurrying rats. Right, I think we're going to go to Nice here. French Riviera. The Pyrenees Express departs for Nice in 2 days. 2 bloody days? What the hell is with this delay? I think this... time's ticking away whilst I'm mulling these things over as well. We ain't doing this in 80 days and there's no chance. We could adjust or negotiate the departure. What about Amsterdam? Is that like now? Oh! Private car! Oh! Luggage! Second car, please. There we go. Open road. Bothersome experience, but go. Go. Too slow? Oh, Balderdash. This is not going very well, is it? Oh, Mr. Fogg, I apologise. I am getting confused. Tomorrow before 5. Tomorrow. We've missed the damn car. Shooting hell. Stop. Right, okay, off we go. Nice in 2 days. Negotiate an Englishman's wardrobe should yield results. No charge. What? The ticket will require a further £55, but this says here no charge. Right, apparently departs tomorrow at 10 a.m. Well, bugger me. Anything new in the market? Travelling cloak, we have room. Nice is warm, we don't need a travelling cloak. And geometry? Pah, boring. Okay. Hotel time. Can't stay on the street all night, can we? Oh, we can plan, apparently. What are we planning? Venice? Berlin! Rome! Oh, we've got to go to Rome. We've got to go to Rome. Haven't we? Oh, yes. From Nice to Rome. I'm liking the look of this trip already. Tunis? Nah, it's got to be Rome. Right. I don't know what planning does, but we're going to stay in the hotel overnight. And get up in the early hours of the morning. Another 6 days to wait for the transfer of our funds. But we were still unsure whether we would wait. Things to do, you know. Oh, no, don't pass too much time. Just a few minor alterations to our clothing. Maybe use that shaving kit to give yourself a bit of a trim. Spruce yourself up. Oh, my God. Once again. Once again, our relationship with Mr. Fogg gets worse. And our character continues to look polished. So we're getting a common theme here. Our character likes to remain prim and proper and likes to appear, very presentable. And Mr. Fogg doesn't really like us very much. Okay. I suppose there is worse things. Right, let's get ourselves departed. We're off to Nice. On the Pyrenees Express. Oh, look at that. Plenty of room for cases and travel is bearable. Choo-choo, we're off. Right, that was a very, very slow start to affairs. And I'm kind of gutted we're going to Amsterdam. We boarded our train at Gare de Lyon, which had opened only the previous week. Compared to leaving London, it was a calm affair. Tickets were booked in advance and there was no need to rush. Thanks to the polite and helpful automata, who dispensed and checked tickets as well as serving drinks, we found a compartment and settled into plush seats with a complimentary glass of Provençal rosé. This is better than being stuffed into a small vehicle to Amsterdam. This is living the high life, sipping wine, looking prim and proper. We French, we know how to travel. Forget toasting Monsieur Fogg, he doesn't like us. I declared. Is it too much to hope the rest of our journey will be so comfortable, sipping wine, eating canapés? Yes, said Mr. Fogg shortly, before taking a single parsimonious sip of his wine. Oh, is somebody going to spoil the mood? Right, perhaps we'll try conversing today. We've got to get back in these good books. Begin conversation. Greetings, monsieur. Good afternoon. My name is Alfred Dumont. Oh, I'm not even talking to Mr. Fogg. We found somebody else to talk to. Ask him about Nice. Did you know there is a regular private car service from Nice to Venice? But the journey is a tiring one. Well, I had my sights set on a bit of Rome action, actually. Absolutely, there's a route from Nice to Rome. Nice is linked to Rome aboard the Blue Line ferry, but it's slow going. Okay. What about... let's have a look what else we can go. Alexandria, Egypt. Oh, that'd be nice. That would be nice. I'm visiting all the historical sites here, if you can't tell. Yeah, Rome to Alexandria. What a question. Of course it's possible to travel to Rome. You can pick up Egyptian carved scarabs in Alexandria that will sell for a fortune in Dubai. So we can get to Venice, or we can get to Rome. Two lovely cities, but Rome is my favourite. The hours flew by and I spent them playing canasta. There's an Eddie Izzard joke about canasta in one of his stand-ups. Conversation, or simply watching the stunning scenery go by, sipping wine, certainly sounds far more relaxing. Indeed. Even a valet must take time off. The train rattled on, arriving to Nice late in the evening. We stepped out to balmy autumn weather and a gentle murmur in the air. Ah, my friends, the sea. A glorious Mediterranean sea. Breathe it in. This 80 days malarkey, it's a cinch. Right, it's late at night, which means that we need to go to the hotel, rest up, and then head out in the morning. I wonder if we can pick up our funds in any bank, or if only in the specific banks that you actually apply for the loan. I'll have to check that out. But anyway, for now, it's been a long journey. Time to rest in a hotel. I've got a feeling that this is we should really be like thundering on our journey. The long pebbled beaches of Nice were filled with Italians of one sort or another. Yes, and of course, being a connoisseur of all things that pass the lips, we couldn't help but notice the sweet waft of pastry on the air. Ooh, the taste almond and butter. Oh, we munched contentedly whilst strolling along the promenade, watching the ships come and go from the harbour. Since being ceded back to the bosom Francais, Nice had become a bustling hub of activity. Boats plied the waters daily, and there was talk of building a tram to link the hotels to the beaches and the casinos. Ooh, it's a bit early for a dip in the ocean. Casinos? Well, we have a pack of cards in our case. Perhaps We've been practising while sat on a train with nothing else better to do than watch the scenery go by. Perhaps we can make a bit of extra coin, and then Monsieur Fogg might put a smile on his miserable face. Earn a little dosh, we thought. But it seemed that Nice had gone up a long way in the world, and I was refused admission. Refused? Prim and proper, I've trimmed my beard and everything with my shaving kit, and I'm wearing the finest regalia of Englishmen. But no, alas, the doorman said none of the lower classes allowed. I had no time for his high standards. So I went elsewhere. Still too cold for a dip in the ocean, so we'll speak to a random sailor. Be friendly. Maybe he would have a bit of information or two for someone such as I, travelling the world in 80 days. He shrugged. There's cars to Venice, and the boats to Rome. Depends where you want to go, of course. And as a sailor, what would you recommend? He frowned. Well, I wouldn't go to Rome if I were you. The people there aren't quite right, if you know what I mean. Obviously a very Italian-speaking sailor from the accent. Oh no, sorry, we're in Nice. I'm skipping ahead. But still, as you can... very French as well. What's wrong with Italians? He mimed a chopping motion I did not understand, but refused to say more. I thanked him and moved along, and apologised for mistaking him for an Italian. Okay, our feet are now tired. I murmured my goodbyes to the sea, and I knew to France, and returned to my somewhat difficult master. The funds have gone down a touch. Ah, well. Okay, bright and early we could depart for Rome, or once again we can explore. We cannot stop off in these marvellous cities and not take in the sights. Sorry, Mr. Fogg. Passport 2 has gone AWOL again. First of all, the market is just now opened. Okay, so what do we have here? We have Atlantic Timetable, a thin volume with the times and routes of all transport in the Atlantic. Once again, we have a travelling cloak. Once again, we're sticking to warmer climes. Brazilian snuff. And leather braces, made of fine cowhide. Flexible, but highly durable under the greatest of strains. Valuable in Thessalonica, Sofia, and Izmir. I mean, some of these investments we should perhaps be taking up, shouldn't we? But, that's only £1. You know what? For a bloody £1, as we shop in Old Town, I think that'll do. Yeah. Extra suitcase? Do we think it's time for an extra suitcase? It's extra to carry. We'll leave it for now. New routes discovered. Ooh, over in America. Ooh. How have we... Oh, of course we've got the shipping routes, haven't we? Ah, right. It makes sense. Reykjavik. Ooh. Maybe we can dip in the hot springs of Iceland. Passport 2 likes the finer things in life. For a valet, of course. Okay. Time to explore. I took a few hours to explore, investigating the various options for how we might continue our journey. Obviously he took it... What the hell? Nothing to explore? No fairs? No Yorkshire lasses? Well, Nice was a bit boring. Right, Venice or Rome. I had my sights set already. Arrives Monday. It's a bit of a trek, it's a bit more expensive, but I love Rome. The Blue Line ferry departs for Rome. tomorrow at 4 p.m. I wouldn't go to Rome, says the sailor. Ah, what does he know? Bit of seasickness. There's room for the bags, though. Yeah. It's gotta be Rome. Tomorrow at 4. Right, okay. Okay. It looks like we're spending another night in Nice. Another hotel. Past the night. I mean, I could be playing this game completely wrong here. But, you know. Okay, 4 more days to wait for our money to arrive from London. Keep ourselves occupied. Once again, liking to be prim and proper, we will never be turned away from a casino again. Starch those collars. Okay. Rome awaits. Here we go. The Blue Line Ferry. Mild seas. Slightly bothersome journey. Oh well. It's the Titanic. The Blue Line Ferry, named after the successful train line through France. And found a place on its crowded stern to wave at the port as we departed. Okay, when I say we, I do not mean myself and Monsieur Fogg, of course. He had no interest in seeing our departure, nor in standing at the front of the boat and watching our progress. I was joined at the prow by rather more enjoyable company. A young woman, no less, named Estelle, whom I had bumped into while hauling our cases up the ramp. "You're an explorer?" she asked. "Ah, yes, indeed I am, my lovely. Or at least, I am as of 6 days ago." Then a roll of the sea made me stumble. Whew. We would be aboard for just one night, and I hoped I would find my balance, especially when it's such fine-looking company. Bloody hellfire passport, too. Don't embarrass yourself in front of the lady, being a royal klutz. Converse, of course, with the fine lady, Mademoiselle Estelle. Well, hello again, monsieur. Know anything about Rome, my dear? The newly unified kingdom of Italy is very powerful. What can you tell me about Rome to Alexandria? Seems quite impossible to me. Now, anyway, perhaps a turn around the deck? Oh, why not? The warm wind is so wonderful. Okay, she doesn't know about... Ooh, how about Khartoum? That's in Egypt. Is there a route from Rome to Khartoum? Probably, but you can pick up engine oil in Khartoum you can sell for profit in Madras. Anything else you know about Khartoum? What about this? Some buyers will pay well for evening jackets from Khartoum. Oh, is that so? Well, Mademoiselle Estelle. Oh my God, we're meeting in a restaurant. How things have moved so swiftly. Taking the seat opposite. God, whatever happened to Phileas Fogg, the star of the show? Yesterday's news. I have it worked out, she announced cheerfully. I will play along. We don't want to act stupid in front of her. I'm glad to hear it, I replied, feigning understanding. She narrowed her eyes at me. Well, perhaps you will be, she said. That depends on whether you would rather remain anonymous. And she winked. I was taken aback. Had we caused such a stir on our journey so far? It seemed most unlikely. She pulled out a copy of the Times. "Here!" she cried, folding it and lifting to my attention. To my astonishment, It was a headline about our journey. Phileas Fogg attempts round-the-world adventure. Huh. I shook my head, knowing my master would wish to maintain his anonymity. What an awkward word. I have not heard of this story, but she would not be swayed. Ah, of course you would say that. Giddy with her discovery, she punched me on the arm. What an exciting adventure! Yes, travel is most thrilling, I agreed. Especially now for me, she replied. Fancy my meeting Phileas Fogg himself. Oh, come on now. I opened my mouth to dissuade her, but she interrupted. You're more dashing than the story made out, she continued excitedly. Wait until I tell my mother. Oh, she thinks I'm Phileas Fogg. Of course, then, I simply let her assume and continue to assume. It was the gentlemanly thing to do, and ironically, the thing I would have done had I indeed been Monsieur Fogg himself. Well, she said, with a proud sigh, I'm sure you're in a hurry, so I won't keep you. Another turn around the deck, mademoiselle. Once more for the road, or the waves, as it may be. I couldn't possibly, she replied, all afluster. And then we proceeded to do exactly that. Oh, this Passepartout, what a womanizer he is. This has been a marvellous trip around. Thank you, Mr. Fogg. Sipping wine on a train, visiting lovelier fairs, and now enjoying the company of fine-looking ladies. I mean, goodness me, what a life. We arrived in Rome the next day, and I began to unload our cases when the captain stopped me. New regulations, he insisted, ordered by the new Italian regime. Regulations? You're travelling from England? Yes, indeed so. The captain nodded. Then you are required to sign this disclosure of artificer's materials. He produced a long roll of paper, which I began to look over, when young Mademoiselle Estelle appeared. Monsieur Fogg! She cried. Ah, I looked up and waved a hand. Oh, are we with Mr. Fogg? Oh, this is awkward. Just play it cool. Just play it cool. And she smiled and hurried over. I saw you were leaving, Monsieur Fogg, and without saying farewell. I fear so, I began, but at the same moment my master remarked, Farewell, mademoiselle. Mademoiselle Estelle took an uncertain step back, glancing between us. My master's sharp aquiline profile, my own rounded Gallic features, and I simply smiled at her. She thought for a moment, then grinned. Oh, I understand, she said. Very good. I did not ask. She chuckled to herself, stretched up to peck me on the cheek, and then hurried away in some excitement. Monsieur Fogg glanced at me, and I simply busied myself completing the forms, handed them back, and hurried away down the ramp. And now our character is suave. Suave, polished, dashing. Oh, you're getting it all here. Likes the finer things in life. We're carving out his persona absolutely marvellously, in my own embodiment here. And we've arrived in Rome! Such epic historical sights to be taken in. This is gonna be fun. Right, the market. If I had a hammer. Valuable in Athens and ooh, I like Athens as well. I've been to Athens as well. I'm visiting all the places that I've been in my travels. A marble bust. Worth a lot of money in Helsinki. Desert driver's timetable. Private hire drivers in the Middle East. We are going towards Egypt. And a tartan blanket. Valuable in Sofia, Venice and Budapest. That's going to be useful. We aren't really buying anything that we can sell anywhere, so our money situation is really going to plummet. But might end up in Athens, so we'll just take the hammer, and at the worst we could club somebody over the head if they try to rob us. Right, that'll do for now. At the Campo de Fiori. New routes discovered. In the Middle East, just in case. We are going that way. Ooh, Dubai, to Muscat. Oh yes. Right, bank, no. Explore, yes. The sights of Rome await us. Yep, we're going to Athens next. We're going to Athens next. It's decided. I was tossing a coin into the waters of the Trevi Fountain when the Bersaglieri marched into the square with their distinctive fast jog and began rounding everyone up. Not wanting to be caught up in the humdrum, of course, I tried to slip away before they reached me. An old instinct to avoid the attention of the soldiery, whether guilty or innocent of any crime. Alas, there were too many of them to avoid. A lanky man with only the sparse beginnings of a moustache gestured at me with his rifle. No, in fact his entire arm was a rifle. Yep, that'll get me moving. Since the rifle was attached to his shoulder in place of an arm, perhaps it might fire as easily as a normal man might make a gesture. Just then, someone jostled me from behind, and I turned to see a figure in grey reaching into their pocket and then tossing out a what? I am no fool! I ran for my life. It is the Zayever! Somebody, an equally fleet-footed woman, declared. They hate the squalor for what they have done to the young people. I did not... What? I did not know what she meant. Until she tapped her shoulder, then pointed at the blue-eyed augmented soldier I had met earlier. As I slowed to a walk and then made my way back to Monsieur Fogg, I kept my eyes down and just did not look at anybody at all, in a state of shock. Why did we come here? We were warned not to come here. We were warned, and I did not listen. Oh, my God. Perhaps Rome is the future, I confess. I do not know. We could have been blown to smithereens. I think we better leave early as possible. Athens arrives Thursday. It's another long trip. £120. Dubrovnik arrives tomorrow. Thessalonica arrives Wednesday. It's got to be Athens, hasn't it? The Icarus. Ooh. We've gone by train. We've gone by ferry. Now by floating airship. Negotiate. The pocket altimeter from our air traveller set should spur them on. The ticket will require a further £120 to bring it forward. Oh well, we still have a bit of coin in the bank. We shall grease the wheels and depart tomorrow for Athens at 12 noon. Indeed we shall, so join me then, if we're still alive and not blown up in Rome. Before then, of course. What else will Passport 2 get up to? Find out next time. Until then, see you soon.